Super actually did something pretty amazing in its 131 episode run, where it used the main plot of what's going on with Goku, Vegeta, and all the other characters we already knew and loved. It used their stories to misdirect our attention from this subplot of oppression. Oppression of who? I know the title of this video already gives it away, but I still think it's pretty fascinating. Oppression of the angels. For those of us who've watched the series, this seems to be almost the complete opposite of what was going on in the show. The angels always appear to be happy. They're also the most powerful beings in their respective universes. They were exempt from erasure during the Tournament of Power, and the Grand Priest, the father of all angels, is arguably the strongest being we've met in the series so far, possibly even stronger than Zeno. This all suggests that, if anything, the angels are given special treatment, not being oppressed. Therein lies the genius of the show, because while secretly advancing this subplot, the show trivializes the main plot with the introduction of the Super Dragon Balls and Super Shenron. I know this sounds like a lot, but guys, stick with me and give me a chance, because I think this is all pretty fascinating. Let's start with how the angels are being oppressed. This is important because this is at the core of what really matters in the show. Most of what we see from the angels, this appearance of always being happy, or this aura of nonchalance where they don't really care much about anyone or anything, this is all a facade, an illusion. In reality, the angels do care one way or another, and they do want to make a difference. We even occasionally see glimpses of their true intentions, but they are always being watched, and their entire existence depend on their ability to keep up this false appearance. Alright, so where is this coming from and why is it important? Just give me a little bit. Let's get into it. When we first met Whis, we thought Whis was nothing more than Beerus' servant. This wasn't an accident either. Even the other characters in the show thought the same thing, until Whis had a moment of getting serious with Piccolo, and a few episodes later where we learned Whis was actually Beerus' teacher, and thus far more powerful than even the God of Destruction. Until then, we thought Whis was just a servant, a nobody. Why is that? Why would the strongest being in the entire universe call another being my lord? Why would Whis need permission from Beerus, from his God of Destruction, to use his own powers? This is all part of the misdirection, but it goes even further, because during the Tournament of Power, we learned that the main role of the angel and God of Destruction duo in any universe is to cultivate and grow the mortal level of that universe. The mortal level isn't the same as the power levels in a universe. It's more of a measure of the abundance and overall quality of life in any given universe. Because Beerus is notoriously bad at his job, Universe 7, the universe where Earth exists, has one of the lowest mortal levels between all the universes, and was pretty much already scheduled to be erased by Zeno. Whis knew this, and Whis wants to see Beerus replaced with a better God of Destruction. This is in part why he started training Goku and Vegeta. But even though Whis is much more powerful and more intelligent than Beerus, Whis can't admit this to Beerus. When Beerus directly asks him, "Are you trying to replace me?" Whis gives an indirect answer, because Beerus is the boss. Beerus is the one in control. So if not from his own power and intelligence, where does Beerus or any other of the God of Destructions get their authority to control the angels? Okay, this is where things start to get interesting for me, because not too long ago in the Dragon Ball Super manga, we learned that there exists angelic laws. The Grand Priest said that there is only one main law that angels must all follow. That main law was angels must maintain neutrality, side in with neither good nor evil. However, later on in that same chapter, Whis implies that there are other restrictions, other codes that angels have to follow. One being that although they can train who they want, they can't use their full power. Either way, these laws or restrictions seem to all focus around the same thing, which is limiting what an angel can do with their own power. And this is a little weird, but this in itself doesn't mean that angels are being oppressed. Having a law and not being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want to, isn't necessarily the same as oppression. In fact, at first, I thought that the Grand Priest may have been the one to write these laws, because maybe the angels are just too powerful, and if left at their own accord, they'll end up causing more harm than good. So the problem isn't that these laws exist. The problem lies in the punishment to these laws. If an angel breaks the law, then he is eradicated almost instantly without a trace. That's it. They're not even given a chance to explain themselves. They're not allowed to make a case to explain their reasoning. If they slip up, they are simply erased from existence. This, in my opinion, is the epitome of oppression. The angels are allowed to think for themselves. In fact, they're highly intelligent. They are allowed to have preferences, feel emotions. They're even allowed to have opinions about morality. But the second they act on any of those opinions, they are instantly erased by the powers that be. I want to talk for a second about who or what that power is. Since this is oppression, who is the oppressor? Because, like I said earlier, at first I thought the rules were created and enforced by the Grand Priest. But in chapter 55 of the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Grand Priest talks about not wanting to lose an angel, even if they are a troublemaker. So even if they broke the law, he would prefer not to have an angel erased. So it seems as if whether or not the angel gets erased isn't up to him. He would prefer for that not to be the case. In fact, here the Grand Priest is talking about Mirus being the potential troublemaker. And the Grand Priest went as far as thinking about removing Mirus from the mortal realm before he broke the law so that he wouldn't be erased. The only reason he didn't do that was because Whis asked to take care of the situation. So it's very unlikely that it's the Grand Priest enforcing this law. A second candidate for who the oppressor is Zeno, the Omni King. However, this is extremely unlikely given Zeno's personality and considering that almost everything that Zeno knows seems to come through the Grand Priest. So if Zeno was the one doing the erasure and the Grand Priest didn't want an angel erased, all he had to do was keep that information from Zeno. That suggests to me that there is something bigger in the Dragon Ball Super universe. The oppressor is a force independent of the angels who is always watching, someone or something with enough power to keep the angels in constant check. This being is the one who allows the angels to exist so long as they serve his will. Here's something that's interesting. The show implies that angels are the ones who assign the God of Destruction for their universe. But during the Future Trunks arc, we learned that if a God of Destruction dies, then his angel ceases to function. But how could the angels appoint the God of Destruction if they aren't functional? I believe that this being, whoever or whatever it is the one who chooses the God of Destruction and then appoints the angel as a guide. In the event that the God of Destruction is defeated, the angel could suggest a replacement. And this is why I think Whis decided to train Vegeta and Goku and offer them the position of God of Destruction, not because he planned to appoint them himself, but because if they became strong enough to defeat Beerus, he could then suggest them to this higher deity or force. Okay, so why does any of this matter? Even if the angels are being oppressed and there is some stronger force out there keeping them in check, why does this matter? Well, it matters a lot, and here's why. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that the Super Dragon Balls and Super Shenron trivializes what's going on with Goku Vegeta, the main storyline. In the same way the Dragon Balls trivialized death in Dragon Ball Z. The first time we saw Goku die, it was impactful. But then after we realized that the Dragon Balls could just be used to bring him back at any point, it made him dying kind of meaningless. And so there were quickly restrictions placed on the power of the Dragon Balls. What the Dragon Balls could do couldn't exceed the power of the person who created them. This added some risk and consequences back to the show. But now, with the introduction of the Super Dragon Balls, all of that is out of the window again. I mean, we literally saw multiple universes, entire universes with their gods of destruction erased, and they were all casually brought back into existence off of a single wish. This implies that there is nothing that could happen to Goku and Vegeta. Nothing that could happen in the main plot that the Super Dragon Balls can't simply reverse. In this subplot, however, in a battle between the strongest beings in the series so far and their oppressor, this is where the risk is reintroduced. I suspect that although the show says that there is no limit to the wish the Super Dragon Balls can grant, that power only applies to the mortal plane and not so much the angelic plane. Because if it did, we saw the Grand Priest gather all the Super Dragon Balls with ease for the Tournament of Power. And if his goal was to have perfect or simply higher mortal levels in all of the universes, or even to keep Zeno the Omni King permanently entertained, he could simply gather the Super Dragon Balls and wish for that. But he doesn't, because those aren't exactly mortal problems. The Super Dragon Balls do not trivialize angelic problems. That's where I think the series is going. That's why I think we see Goku gaining angelic powers in Ultra Instinct and Vegeta learning Ki Control, because those are the kinds of problems they are going to have to deal with before the series ends. A clash between the angels and their oppressors. If you made it this far in the video, hashtag free angels in the comments below. I've been thinking about this topic for a while, and I feel like as the Dragon Ball Super manga continues and we see what happened with Mirror and the role that Whis continues to play, I feel like it all just aligns more and more with my thoughts on the angels with this video. But I'm super curious to hear what you guys have to say. So also feel free to leave your thoughts on the topic below. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. To everyone who takes time out of their day to leave a positive comment, I really appreciate it. Some of you guys have been rocking with me for a while, for years now at this point. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you very much. Do me a favor, be kind to each other, have a great day, and I'll be talking to you again real soon. Bye.